Our episode tonight, we'll be chatting it up with none other than Patrick Ladonis. He's a producer, actor, director. I mean, he basically does it all. He's also the creator of the web series Scales. We are looking forward to chatting up with him tonight. As always, share our Facebook Lives, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at A Gam Minute.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome,
Hi.
Patrick. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
How are you
both
doing
for having
today?
me. I'm doing well. What about you all? It's TGIT. Thank God it's Thursday.
Yeah, right.
It's Friday Eve here.
Right.
Friday Eve, right.
Friday Eve.
So, Patrick, again, like the intro said, you know, you're the creator, producer, director, and writer of the web series Scales, which I really enjoy. I enjoyed the series, really good. You also play the role as Remy, the editor-in-chief of Libra magazine. So what else is it about Patrick Ladonis that we left out? What more can you tell us about yourself?
I can tell you, well, one thing, I haven't fully dived into the director's chair yet, but I will say one thing, I'm really big on the empowerment of creatives, especially women of color. And I just wanted to make sure that, you know, the show Scale seasons 1, 2, and 3 were directed by a female whose name is Shirley Norman, a Black female.
Yeah, she
directed.
It was a young lady by the name of Sheila.
Shirley, yeah, she plays Sheila.
Yes.
She wears two hats. She's acting and she directs the series.
Oh, okay. So she's also acting. What role did she play?
She's the one that hates Remy. Like, she showed up at Remy's house.
Oh, fussing him out about talking to her friend.
About Gavin, right.
Okay. Yeah, she showed up at the house. So to sum it up, Remy, when I was watching, I was like, okay. So Remy, pretty much, he's well-rounded. He has friends. He has a good job. He has a nice home, but he don't really have true love. It's like his personal life is more like kind of chaotic, almost. Like he has a lot going on. That's what I got out of season 1 and season 2. I was like, okay, so Remy kind of have it going on. But when it comes to like the personal life and his relationship, it's kind of like, okay, Remy, what you doing?
Yeah, that would be, that's a great summation of it. Remy he's complicated, but you know, he's drawn to complicated people and things.
Right.
And the people around him too are trying to balance things in their lives as well. Hence, that's why the show is called Scales, because everybody's trying to balance something. And unfortunately, Remy is trying his best, which I think in season 3 you all will see.
Right. So when should we expect season 3? Because I was looking for season 3. I said, now I know it has to be up here somewhere.
It's coming. We just wrapped production on July 19th for season 3. And it takes about 2 to 3 months of editing. So by the end of the year, we'll be dropping, end of the year, top of 2021, we'll be premiering season 3 of Scales.
Okay, so how close is Patrick's life to Remy's life? Like, how did you come up with Remy?
Remy and the situation is loosely, very loosely based on some of my experiences from when I was much younger. And just some of my friends' stories and just scenarios. And actually some of the characters in Scales are loosely based on people because they say as a writer, you know, a creative, the best is to sometimes draw from, you know, experiences, things that you can write about that you've actually went through. And so some of the stories and scales are some personal experiences that I went through when I was younger, as well as some of my other friends. But in terms of modern day Remy and Patrick, they are complete opposites. They're complete
opposite. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you, so when I was watching it, the things I kept coming up with, okay, how did he come up with the mini series? Because when I was watching, I kept saying, wait a minute, it's off already, and then it was going to the next episode. So it was going about 10, 15 minutes. Is that what determines or makes it a mini series?
Yeah, it's a short form digital series. And what I got started with that from season 1, I was really taking a page out of Issa Rae's playbook when she's the creator of Insecure on HBO.
Oh, right.
She had a digital series called Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. And each episode was about 5 or 6 minutes. And I was trying to create content that would be short, that would keep people's attention and make them hopefully want it to be longer and see more. And so season 1, I think the longest episode was about 10 minutes, but they varied in like 7, 8 minutes. And then I listened to what the public, the comments, people were like, we need more, we need it to be longer. And so then season 2, each episode is about 10 minutes. And so people are like, we want more, we want more. So season 3 is going to be a little bit longer too. It's going to probably be like 12 or 13 minutes. And it really just sort of follows how we as viewers and audiences are dealing with watching content. Right now, we're sort of in a global recess with COVID, and everyone's mostly staying around home. You can't go to the movies. So people watching content now versus when Scales came out 2 years ago, everybody was on the go. So you didn't have a lot of time to really watch TV. So short was what we wanted. Now it's kind of like we want longer stuff to kind of help pass the days and hours by of being stuck in this current situation.
Oh, okay.
So I understand you started out in some movies. How did you like that?
It was probably the spark that came to why I came to create Scales. Almost 20, gosh, I'm gonna really date myself. About 24 years ago, I had the fortune of being in the movie A Time to Kill, which was directed
what was you doing? What part?
If you remember, I was the militant teenager. That was my first movie credit. But if you watch there was a big riot. Remember there's a big riot that takes place in the city square. It's like the Ku Klux Klan and the city people. I'm the kid that's up on the roof that throw off this Molotov cocktail, setting the Grand Dragon on fire. And so you see me wearing a do-rag. That's how my character stood out. So I have a do-rag on and this cut off gray t-shirt, and I wear sweatshirt, and I wear it in the entire movie. So every time you saw me, I think I'm in about 7 or 8 scenes. So that was my first like real thing. Yeah.
Was it the only movie?
Samuel Jackson and that was the only movie for me. And right after that, I got ready to start college. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you started, so after you did the movie, you started college, and then you took a break in the business, or did you just do other little things?
It's like I took a break, but then it's like my mindset shifted just because I loved acting and I loved the film piece. But then, I started college and enjoying college life and all that fun stuff. But then I got back into it my sophomore year in college at Tougaloo College. I graduated from Tougaloo College in Mississippi. I did a film. I shot a horror film actually called When Evil Awakens. Okay. And I directed, wrote, starred in it, all that good stuff. And we had a premiere on campus, red carpet premiere, limo. We turned, and for HBCU, it was all the way turned up. So the whole, everybody was, so it was an amazing experience. And after that, I felt like I had an interest still in being able to, create content, but I still was kind of in the middle. So then that following my junior year, I studied at Brown University for a program that Tougaloo had with them. And I did some plays at the Rights and Reason Theater. So I was still had the bug a little bit, but I just wasn't pursuing it as intensely. And then that summer I worked, and this will probably come out because I'm already claiming that one day I might be really big. But when I was, I used to be during the summer, I was a park ranger in Boston, and I gave the Freedom Trail tours. And I used to, anytime people came on the tours, I would reenact different characters from the Boston Tea Party.
Okay.
So that was a little bit of acting that I would do to make the trail enjoyable for people that took the trail or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, finished college, got into the corporate, you know, the corporate structure of life, working in corporate America. And fast forward to 2017, August 2017, I was in Barcelona. And while I was over there, there was a terrorist attack, and it happened in Barcelona. It happened while I was there, like literally right in front of us.
Oh, wow.
And it sort of changed my point of view on life, just because, you know, it could have, you know, it was a van that came plowing down La Ramble that, you know, unfortunately killed a lot of people. And it could have, you know, that could have been me or anybody. And my best friend was like, life is too short. Wow. You know, life is so short, you never know. And I promised myself that I was going to start doing things that I love to do, which was, you know, screenwriting and producing and all that stuff. And so I was also at that time working on a play back in Atlanta. And I was like, when I get back to Atlanta, I'm gonna make something. And I had written this first episode called Scales, and I got this team together, a bunch of strangers who are now like family, like Shirley, like I said, she's like family to me. Right. And the next thing I know, Scales became this thing. The fall of 2017, we started casting, had over 400 people that submitted to be a part of it, which was a little scary because it's like, wow, people are really, you know, but Atlanta at the time, even still now, was like the Hollywood of the South.
Right, it is.
When I met with Zane, who at the time was with the production team I worked with, I said, I don't care what happens. I don't make this show look like something that's on, you know, a public access channel. I want it to be very high grade caliber. I want it to be Netflix ready. Right. And he understood that vision of what I was looking for. And, you know, 3 years later, here we are. Season 3 is coming out. I have 2 licensing deals with Scales. They're streaming on 2 major platforms, and I'm sort of just getting started, you know? So that's
so are you hoping to take
part 4 of the chapter.
So are you hoping to take Scales to like the Netflix platform?
I think that is something that I am putting out into the universe. You know, being a part of Reverie. Reverie is like it's a large streaming platform, and they've actually licensed shows through Netflix and to Hulu. So my hope is that because I'm continuously going hard for Scales, that people will catch on and they'll be like, hey, let's license this show on a Netflix, or let's license it on a Hulu. And, you know, just whatever happens. But right now, I'm just so proud of the fact that we're about to be in season 3. And
season 3.
3 years ago, I'd have been like, no, there's no way this is happening. And now it's happening. So
I know you say you just finished up season 3 2 weeks ago on the 19th. Now, with the pandemic and everything, did y'all have a hard time getting together, recording, or was that no problem? That didn't stop anything.
So this is where the corporate background comes back in. So I work in HR consulting, process consulting, all that good stuff. So back in April, the CDC came out with the guidelines for dealing with COVID. I put together a COVID sort of resource training learning guide. I sent it out to the cast and crew. They had to, of course, read over the guidelines. Everyone had to sign it. And then when we got ready to start filming in May, because we actually started filming on May 30th, everyone knew we were going to take temperature checks when you show up on set. We would randomly take temperature checks throughout the day. We also were not going to be having pizza, things that everyone can put their hands on. So we ended up having sort of individual sandwiches. Everyone had like a box lunch. So therefore it limited contact. And then in the breaks, everyone practiced social distancing, and the crew at all times while filming, they had on masks. And so the only people that wouldn't have on a mask would be the actors during the actual filming. And I know myself and several other of the crew and cast members had gotten COVID tested prior and throughout. Like I've had 3 COVID tests so far, all negative, but we took every extra precaution, and we had hand sanitizer, wipes, everything was wiped down. And again, last year versus this year, we had a crew of about 16 last year. We cut that down to about 6 or 7, that therefore keeping no more than 10 or 11 people were on set each time we were filming.
Now, I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on you saying your cast were strangers. How did you choose them? How did you pick your cast?
We had a casting call. So again, one thing about me that people will tell you is that any and everything I do, I'm always going to try to, just like when I was in college, I had that red carpet premiere. I leased out a space downtown Atlanta on the, I think, 15th floor. And we had people to come. You know, I had my cousin was an intern that day. She was signing people in, and we saw people 2 weekends in a row coming in to audition. They had their headshots, and we auditioned everyone except for the part that Shirley has. And then for, she plays Dakota. That is Jordan. Her real name is Jordan Page Sudith. I had met her a year prior, and she was so impressive. She was at the time, I think 15 or 16. I said, if I create something, I want you to be in it. So besides that, 2 of the roles had already been cast, but we had traditional casting calls.
Okay, and were most of your actors and actresses, were they experienced, or did they have to have some type of background?
I would say primarily I think everybody in Skills had a acting background, except for, were there any newcomers with no acting? No, every single person that we cast, some of them were even like seasoned actors, like Sky Passmore, who plays, he's the Asian American actor that plays Kevin Keller, that has sort of like the drug problem. He's a professional actor. He's in a lot of theater, local theater, and sort of South Carolina. He travels with a theater group. Well, he was traveling with a theater group. And then I have Brian Slayton, who joined in season 2 as Drew. He too is also an actor. He's been in commercials. He's appeared on, I think, The Fatal Attraction that comes on TV1, those crime reenactment. He had done several of those and done commercials. The guy that plays Devon, he doesn't play Devon, he plays Caleb with the fiance in season 2. He also has appeared in a lot of local and national TV programming. So it was, I think literally everyone on the show had a pretty strong acting background.
Oh, okay. So would you hire someone or cast someone that has no background?
I actually would. I would, because, you know, when I got that small part or opportunity to be in A Time to Kill many years ago, the late Joel Schumacher, because he did pass a few weeks ago, he saw me in the DMV line. I was getting my driver's license, and he pulled me out and took me over to the casting, in which led to me getting this great opportunity. Okay. And I believe in raw talent, because some people just have it. So if someone like comes in and they just have it, I'm like, if you got it, you got it, and we just go.
Right. Oh,
it seemed like you attracted a lot of people that already had experience. What network did you use? You made Facebook post, or y'all do flyers?
I did Facebook, I did Instagram, I did a lovetoact.com for season 1. And I think I did it for season 2. And then for season 3, I did Backstage. I used backstage.com.
Oh, we got a question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have a question from Mr. Ladonis. Is there anyone that you would like to work with that is already in the industry?
Yes, there is. I would really like to, and because again, I'm no longer as passionate being in front of the camera as I am behind the camera, but I would love I would love to be behind the scenes, and I'd love to work with Sandra Bullock and Kerry Washington. And of course,
Okay.
I met Sandra Bullock when I did A Time to Kill, but I
Oh.
was 16 years old. It's different now and experience, but I'd love to put a project together with those two.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So how, for someone who wants to get into the business, who don't really know anything about producing or acting or directing, what advice would you give them on how to go about getting into the industry?
Well, I would tell them, which, we're in a totally different era than we were, when I was a teenager. So
Right.
now it's almost at your fingertips. If you have a cell phone, you can get started. You can create your own short content. You can put them on Instagram. You can create your own YouTube channel. I would say be truly authentic with who you are. It's always helpful to write out what you're trying to put together, so it doesn't just look like you're just throwing
All
something
over the place.
on there. So make sure that you have something that you put together, and at that moment, you're producing your own programming right there. You're producing the theme and what you want it to look like. And then everything, it's like YouTube and Google, you can learn all of the research that you need is at your fingertips. And people do use their cell phone. Steven Soderbergh shot a film strictly on using iPhones 5 years ago, I believe. So you literally can use your phone as a camera to tell any story you want to tell. So
now, as far as you saying you can use your phone to like shoot a little short film or something like that, but as far as getting it to even just a streaming service, not even a major network or a major movie theater. So what channels do you have to go through to get it through even a streaming service? Do you just have to like Hulu or Netflix or Rivalry and all the other ones?
I think what you have to do is, once you create your content, then you have to decide, and you have to decide what your brand is going to be. I think brand is so important, because you got to have a brand, and because your brand has to fit within the categories of like the Hulu and the Netflixes or the Reveries or whomever. So once you identify like who you are and what type of content you're producing, then you have to start building your platform in social media. Instagram has connected me personally with people I probably would have never knew I had access to, except through Instagram, putting the right hashtags together. And then going into Facebook groups and building that tribe of people that, it's all through the power of networking. And once you identify that group and what you want to do, then you start reaching out to make things happen.
Okay, so
let me ask this before I forget. So who support you? Do your family support you more, or is more mainly strangers that support you?
In what context do you mean? You talking about from
as far as your
financially for the show, or
directing?
I would say it's both. My family has been so support. One, I'm an only child. Not to say that only children are spoiled, but my parent, my mom, and my aunts and my uncles, cousins, my whole family, they have always been behind me in whatever I wanted to do, 100%.
Right.
And then, of course, as you get into adulthood, you have your close friends, your best friends have always been pushing me and supporting me. And through creating, scales, of course, that creating scales allowed me to be a little bit more vulnerable, because I was now putting so much of myself out for the world to judge. And it's opened me up to building friendships and relationships with people that I would have probably never met. And then just I don't like to use the word fans, but I'll just say scalers, people that watch scales. They say really nice things and encouraging things, and they'll, hit you up in your DM saying, "Oh, I like your show, da da da," and that's encouraging. So I am fortunate that I get the encouragement and support like all around from everybody.
That's good.
Right, because I was watching your show sitting at work, and I had to stop working. I was like, "Oh my God, this is so good!" And so, I don't know what I was really expecting, but it was like, as soon as I would get into it, it was over. So it's like, it keeps making you want to sit and watch, because it's like, as soon as it get good, it ends. I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing something. Before I knew, I had sat and watched both seasons. And I was just like this, like just sitting there, just watching it. So which do you like better? Would you prefer a major network over the streaming services that you get on your smart TV or your iPhone or your, your Samsung? Would you prefer a major deal like with the big networks?
I don't have a preference. To me, it's whatever the best deal is that will allow me to continue to tell stories.
Right.
As long as it's, ethically right. And, I'm really big on integrity. So long as if it's a network or a streaming platform that represents or has the same values that I have, I'm open to any and everything that's positive and it's encouraging. So I really don't have a preference.
Okay.
If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be and why?
Ooh, if I could change anything about myself, I think if I could change, the one thing I would change about myself is sometimes I get a little bit too into it's hard for me to, what's the right word for it? I don't want to say it's hard for me to delegate because I have to delegate a lot, especially I have to have the trust in the director and the filming crew, but sometimes I can be stubborn and it's hard for me to sort of let go of the rein. I like to have my hands in a bit of everything. I like to know what's happening a lot, which to me, that could be looked at as maybe not having as much trust in I don't think that's what it is, but it just comes from being over cautious. That's the one thing, that's the right word for it. If I could be less, I'm always over cautious. Like I'm very paranoid about season 3 of Scales, which I'm excited for you guys to see it, but I'm overly just like, oh my God, I can't believe we're on this 3rd season.
How you come with your ideas? Are you stuck with what's gonna happen next, or?
No, because when I wrote the first season, like I know how the show is gonna end. That's something I learned from Shonda Rhimes. She says you always should know kind of where your show is gonna go. So I know how I know how everybody is gonna end up at the very end. So because I know that, it's exciting to be taking these characters to where they're heading towards. And when season 3 will give you a huge idea of what's going to happen to these people, because season 3 is hot. Like we filmed some amazing stuff for season 3.
Right. Well, will we be able to get an exclusive? Can you give us a little snippet on summary, just a little snippet on season 3?
I will tell you this. Of course, season two was kind of, everybody was making a decision in season 2. Everybody made decisions in season 2. Season 3 is the aftermath of making those decisions, where it will leave them. So Remy, you saw Remy and Ron, seemingly they came together at the end, but then Ron made a phone call at the very end calling Drew. And so those are decisions that were made in season 2. Everyone that made a decision will have to deal with the consequences of those decisions in season 3.
Right. Okay.
In a big way, in a very big way. In a very big way. In a very big way.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, now Mr. Ladonis, we were speaking of experience. We have one of our viewers, they're asking you high school drama from 50 plus years kind of experience.
Did you hear her?
Say that again. Someone from high school, right?
Yes, one of our viewers said from someone with 50 plus years from high school, which is 50 plus years ago. Drama experience. Does that count as experience?
Of course.
It did drama in high school 50 some years ago.
Of course, because again, it's all about the part that you're going out for, what speaks to you. Of course, like for myself, being, I'm in my 40s, I wouldn't go audition to play a high school person. I mean, that's not in my wheelhouse. They used to get away with that. I think in 90210, the kids were like 30 years old playing 16, but I wouldn't do that. So if someone with being at that age, go after those roles that, that you look at Lynn Whitfield from Greenleaf.
Right.
I mean, she kills it. And she's at she's an older actress, but she's killing it in that
She
part.
is.
So finding your lane and killing it in your lane. I mean, yeah, that's absolutely continue to go for it. If you, or tell that person, create your own show. I would love to listen to a person that has 50 years of drama experience, get a YouTube channel and talk to me about life and all that other good stuff. I'm drawn to stuff like that.
So look, do church plays count? I've been in church plays and I think I can act really good. Does that count as experience as well?
Absolutely. You know, I grew up of course, in the church, and I was in all of the Christmas plays. I was in the Easter plays, and let's not forget Vacation Bible School. We used to have plays.
Right.
I love that part.
I was in all of those plays.
I did the most every time. That part I really did the most.
See, there you have it. And look at you now. You're a host on a podcast. You have the TV presence already. So of course.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Right. Right. So what do you normally do, like in between time, in between your filming and then in between the editing, you have a little bit of downtime before your next filming? What do you normally do? I see, I know on Instagram you posted a pic, you was out the country a couple of days ago.
Well, before COVID, and that was a throwback because of course I haven't traveled since. I haven't traveled since. Yeah, I haven't traveled since January, and typically I'm all like, I travel every summer. Like normally I'm not here during the summertime, and for 10 years in a row I've been going to Barcelona, Spain. Every August I'm in Barcelona for 2 weeks. This will be the first time in 10 years that I'm not in Barcelona. So my timeline is flooded with memories. Yeah, I'm just going through the withdrawals of not being able to travel. Yeah, but I typically, I love to travel. LA, Miami, New York, and then of course out of the country, Spain. That's my favorite downtime, is I love to take trips. I love to travel. So
that's your favorite spot. Are you originally from Atlanta?
I am not. I grew up in, Time to Kill was shot in Mississippi. So I grew up in Mississippi.
Oh.
I was born in Chicago. We lived in Chicago for a few years. Then we moved to the South, and that's where I stayed until I graduated from Tougaloo College. So I have a little bit of the Midwest, a lot of the South, and then of course Atlanta is the South too. So I have all of the Southern, the good Southern charm and the values and stuff. So I still have that in me.
Okay. So are you planning a new casting call that you can say right now? Do you think you'll be doing another casting call? That time season 4 is ready to record?
Yeah, I know I will. I know we're going to be adding new characters for season 4. I've actually written some of season 4 now. Season 4 will be a little bit different than what we've done, because season 4 is kind of like exclusive with Reverie. So it's sort of like there'll be a little bit of a partnership type of thing where namely up until season 3, I had all of the say of it. Season 4 will be a little bit different, as it's going to be exclusive for Reverie. So there may be a little bit of discussions about certain things, possibly. But season 4 is definitely going to happen. Writing season 4, I was screaming because season 3 is so intense. Season 4 is just as intense. Like season 3 is when you watch it, it's really heavy. Like there's some heavy stuff happening in season 4.
Oh wow. So you say season 3 should be coming on when? You expecting it to come on start?
Later this year, if not the top part of January, because
let me just explain.
I have to tell you, there's a lot. Well, one, the episodes are longer this year, so the editing process is a little bit more intense. And then 2, it's a favorite. I love music, and I'm actually the music supervisor for Scales. So all of the music that you hear playing, I personally select each song that plays on the show, and it's all independent artists. Yeah, it's all independent artists. I only want to have independent artists in the show because I'm an independent artist myself as a creative, and so I had to find the people music and then match this music. And because season 3 is really, really emotional. I'm having to really find music that's gonna fit all of the stuff that's happening.
Lord,
in
I
season
can't
3.
wait. I can't wait because I kept looking. I said, "Now he haven't posted season 3 yet." It was just so good, like really. But so if you doing all the writing and you're the music supervisor and you're the creator, you produce the show. Now you say you about to start directing. So I guess on season 4 you're gonna be more into the directing as well. That's when directing gonna add on your list of positions.
Well, no, actually, I've written a script for another show. It's sort of like a spinoff to Scales, but if you remember, there's a character in Scales called, her name is Kim. She's Sheila's sister, and in episode 2, she shows up. She's like, "Well, girl, I don't believe in time." She's funny. She tries to get Sheila to go out. Well, I wrote a spinoff script called Spades. Like the card game Spades, except it stands for Single People Are Dating Everybody Stupid. So it's
I like that.
I'm like, you
Single people are dating everybody stupid.
Spades. And so,
yes.
So so I plan to direct that, and it's a total different, it's a different theme, as it's going to be following Kim as she dates, and it's about her and 2 of her friends from college and just how they go on the dates with these, what's it like being a single woman dating with Tinder and all these apps. And so I'm really proud of the script. It's pretty funny, and the script has already been placing in script writing competitions. So I'm looking to at least direct the pilot episode of that, which will be coming out. We're going to start filming it sometime this fall, because I'd like to have Scales come out, and then how other shows, stick in a new show for people to check out to see if they like it, have that pilot premiere so people could see it and see how they, see how they respond.
So basically, in between your time, now you add in a new show. So you're going to almost be like Tyler Perry almost. You heading down that road.
I wouldn't say, possibly like Tyler, but when I think, I love his work ethic, and I love what he does for so many people in the city of Atlanta, the people of Atlanta, how he gives back and all this stuff. But I really, when I think about people that I really study and watch, I think of Shonda Rhimes, because I mean, she created Scandal, Grey's Anatomy, which is entering its 15th season. The checks that she'll make off of a show like that. And she just signed a $150 million deal with Netflix. So that whole Shonda land and how she's been able to create all types of things. And that's who I really I study her work. And then, this is going to probably the new generation won't understand it. Maybe you guys might understand it, but I always envision myself maybe being like the Aaron Spelling, how he had Fantasy Island, Dynasty. He had like all these shows. I would love to create shows on every network, on every single network, to have shows on every single network.
Yeah, we got a question.
Okay, so Miss Go-Getter, she just listed a whole lot of hats that you are wearing. How do you juggle the many hats you wear?
Oh, let's see. How do I juggle all the hats that I wear? I think it's
you enjoy it, so don't feel like you're working.
I think I enjoy it, right? So exactly. When you do something that you love, it's true that you're never like working. Like I can, for Scales or creating content, I can go 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-hour days, and I'm like not exhausted, because I know what I'm trying to do, and it makes me so excited. So I just do that.
You enjoy it. And the most important part is you enjoy it.
Enjoyment. So it's not really like work.
It's not like work. It's like
you're
playtime.
Just going out having fun.
And
you're getting paid for it and creating.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's good.
Ooh, that's a lot. So are you going to start doing casting calls for the new show?
For Spades, yes. I'm trying to, before I even do the casting, I'm trying to see where COVID's gonna at least slow down, if possible, in Georgia, before trying to do a fall, because they say fall might be a second wave. So I'm trying to just kind of wait it out to see, but I really hope to start casting for, I hope to put a casting call out by September. And then I'd love for us to shoot the pilot in like a November, December, because the setting it's kind of cold for the pilot for Spades. And I really would like to be able to shoot while it's cold and have the city kind of at my disposal, because not many people are going to be out when it's cold, and you don't have to worry about a lot of noise when you're filming.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I hope that I'm continuing to create shows on various platforms. I hope that I am continuing to be an advocate for people of color, Black men and women, getting people to continue to exercise their right to vote. I'm passionate about making sure that we do more about the situations with how the police treat and recognize people of color. So I'm hoping to be able to be a spokesperson for those things that matter, and still telling groundbreaking stories that represent me as a Black man, and then just things that are engaging for families and for individuals to watch and get enjoyment from.
Okay, that sounds good. So with that being said, what are some things that you're currently doing right now to lead you down that road of doing those things?
One thing that I will tell you, and I think anybody that knows me directly will tell you, Scales is my baby, and I go really hard for Scales. Like I wake up thinking, how can I get more people how can I get more eyes on Scales? Who can I reach out to? What kind of hashtag can I use? So I'm literally always thinking of how can I push this content out even more? How can I make a deal happen? How can I do things that maybe people haven't thought about doing for a web series before? One thing that we did in 2018 for season 1, we had 8 billboards around the city of Atlanta promoting Scales. And it wasn't even something that was super expensive, because again, the corporate hat on me, I knew how to talk what I needed to talk to work out a deal to get all these billboards around the city, and then getting the promos about it. So for me, I'm always thinking, how can I be better? How can I get people to partner with me to help push this content out? Because, not to go too heavy into the story, but Scales, if some people would want to put a label to Scales, and I mean, I'm not afraid of putting a label on it, but people say, oh, well, this is his gay show. Well, Scales really isn't a gay show. You just happen to have a lead character that happens to identify as gay, but it's not part of the story. And I want people to be able to see that these are just people that are experiencing everyday lives, but it's a clear representation of who we are. So it's that kind of thing. So I'm always up thinking about that kind of next level thought process, and how can I connect with other people and keep broadening my horizons and growth. So yeah.
So I got a question. So besides working on your series, what do you do during your spare time? What do you like to do when you're not working on your work?
Well, because of COVID, back in May, I took up running. So I run about every day. And so far since May, I have ran almost 200 miles, because I'm tracking my miles. So I run about—
I wish I had your energy.
I run at least 5-6 days a week. And
that's good.
So that's not something you was doing before. So
I worked out, but I didn't run. I wasn't a runner, but now I've become a runner.
So did you start walking first, then run? Oh my goodness.
No, I just got into
running.
it.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
You just started running.
Congratulations to you on that one. Now, I have started walking more since COVID, but running, no, I be out of breath when I'm walking. But and I have been riding my bike more. So I be feeling like I'm doing a little something. I don't see no results yet, but I feel like I'm doing a little something.
He wanted to just start running. Just run.
Right, just run.
You put in that good playlist, and you just go. When I got a good playlist on,
I'm gonna try that tomorrow. I'm gonna
Just
try
run.
to. I'm gonna put me some music on, and I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna stay there.
Run, Forrest, run,
I'm just gonna run.
Okay. Okay.
See how
Now I'm
far
gonna
I
follow
get.
up with you and see. I'm gonna follow up and see how many miles you ran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
Yeah.
that. I'm just gonna run.
Woo, well, let me know how that work out. I'm just gonna get on my bike and I'm just keep riding because I'm gonna be out on somebody's sidewalk.
I would.
I'm gonna be on the sidewalk.
Ow.
So look, out from Scandal, I want to know what is your favorite episode from season 1 and 2 combined? What was your favorite
of Scandal or Scales?
I mean Scales.
My favorite episode. God, this is it's a tie. It's kind of hard, but season 1, I'd say episode 5, Meet the Kellers. Because it really wasn't, it was Remy's story, but it really wasn't. You were meeting this family and you were seeing Kevin's family. And then at the very end, he comes to Remy's house and you see them have like that moment, and then he leaves, and then Remy goes to open the drawer and looks at the picture, and it shows the flashback of how intense that relationship was. And for whatever reason, I loved episode 5 for season 1. And then for season 2, I love episode 5 again. Episode 5, there were it was a lot of drama happening in that episode for episode 5 leading up to the finale. But then if I had to combine those two and just pick just any one of them, I'd say my favorite is the pilot episode of Scales, because it's like I'm able to look at something that I wrote and I was like, wow, we actually did it
from the beginning, like, from day one.
So that's probably will always be like my soft spot is that pilot episode of Scales.
Oh yeah, it seemed like with you doing all of it, the writing and everything, it just seemed like I think I would be just crazy because you have to write everybody's lines, you have to write everybody, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna move. You had to direct them. You had to tell them, okay, move this way, stand this way.
Well, no, I didn't have to do all of that. And let me add something I didn't forget. Season 3, I actually have a writing partner. So I had Joey Molina and I crafted out season 3. And of course, Shirley as a director, she also sometimes serves as the story editor. So she works with the script as well. And she's directing. So I'll tell her what I'm thinking I want to happen with these characters, and then she directs them to bring out what they need to bring out. Oh yeah, and wait till you see what she did in season 3, because she brought some stuff out of me. I can't. Oh my God, I can't wait to season 3 season 3 is amazing. You guys are gonna be like, wow, she's one hell of a director.
So how does that work with her if she's in some of the scenes and she's directing? So if she's in a scene,
haven't you listened to Beyonce, Who Run the World? Girl,
I know that's right.
She's talented like that. Like, I'm in awe. Sometimes I look at her, I'm just like, she'll be directing us on something and then she'll jump right into her character. She's telling the cameraman, this is the shot, this is what we need, and then she's delivering the emotions. Like, it's amazing. But again, like I said, Who Run the World, girl, she kills it.
We do. But that's amazing. But yeah. So we are glad that you came on with us. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I really enjoyed the show. I can't wait for season 3. But
and I'm glad he ain't going too much detail, because I'm actually gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, she had to catch up on something. She didn't get to see all of it.
Yeah, let's catch up so we can talk about it.
And I'm like, Lord, don't talk about it. But you did good by wording it perfect, but you ain't tell it. So I'm definitely gonna.
But I wanted him to tell it.
Don't tell it. And I'm glad you kept it real good. Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely look at that. You did.
And I've had a great time with you guys. You guys are so funny. I knew this was going to be a lot of fun. You did not disappoint. This was really fun.
We're glad to have you. And then maybe we can have you back again, especially when all this COVID stuff is over. We can actually sit and talk with you in person.
Right.
you know,
I would love
because
that.
this is our first time with the Zoom,
Yeah.
but it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
I think
So
it
have you
worked
been
out
doing
great.
a lot of stuff with the Zoom?
We did a lot with Zoom. I do, of course, I do Zoom with my 9 to 5 with work life. Then too with Scales, because we couldn't meet in person. We did a lot of the rehearsals were done via Zoom, except for we did like one in-person rehearsal the day before filming, but everything else was all done in Zoom. So Zoom has been a lifesaver for the past 3-4 months.
Okay, so I have another question for you, and it's about Wait A Gam Minute. Do you have any advice for us here at Wait A Gam Minute?
I would say, and I don't like to say advice, but I'll call it giving a gift.
Okay. Give us a gift.
We'll take that.
I would say continue to always be your authentic selves. Don't change or alter your personalities, because I think for me, I'm drawn to people's energy and personalities, and both of you gave the type of energy that I enjoy. Because a lot of times, you know, if the energy's off, then you may get kind of like wrong type of energy interview.
We all had different personalities, and
right,
it works out. We were just saying last week, it works good like that because we ourselves. It's easy when you're yourself.
Yep. When you're being your authentic self, you don't have, and that's what I admire. That would be my gift for you all, is don't change.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you stay ready, you never have to get ready. And so
exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
We're trying to stay ready too. Yes.
That's actually one of the things that our boss, Miss Gamriel, she always say that. She says, you gotta stay ready, stay on time.
Stay ready.
So when it's really time, we already ready. We already groomed for it. We already prepared for it.
Yeah. So what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, that's a question that I talk about a lot. I already think that my legacy, you know, I had another interview a few weeks ago, and I told him that Scales is creating this content, even like this podcast that you guys are doing, this is your legacy. 30, 40 years from now, when people discover it, of course, 40, 50 years from now, I don't think I'll be on this earth unless they create a pill or I'm a hologram. But if I'm here,
let me know.
If I'm here,
we have you back.
Let me know.
I think the legacy will be that this was a person who was unapologetic in being his authentic self, and he tried to represent himself and a community that's often marginalized to be something less than, when in actuality that they're great. Being Black and being a member of the LGBTQ plus community and representing the beautiful shades of Blackness and just diversity is what I want and hope that people will see in my work, and that will be my lasting legacy, is that Patrick.
Okay.
All
right.
So before we go, tell me something funny or weird about yourself that you don't mind sharing.
Every day, and something that you probably be surprised about, is I can dance. I may be kind of older, but I can dance. No. I can dance. Like if I had some music, I can really get it. But yeah, you give me the right music. I dance every day. I literally dance every morning. I put on some music.
Dance and run every day.
Well, I run about 6 days a week. I run about 6 days a week.
That's good.
And then you
said, what did you say? You said my body, what? What'd you say? You said my body.
Dance.
She said you get your cardio.
Oh, I thought you said something. I thought you said my body is running down or something. I thought you said my body.
No, she said you get your cardio in.
Your cardio in.
Oh, yeah. Have to get the cardio in. Yeah.
Now you know.
I was gonna tell you, I got my cardio in, and you'll see how fit Remy is in season 3 too. You're gonna really see. That's the story. You're gonna really see.
I'm ready.
He's fit. So yeah.
Okay, well, we thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
We really, really appreciate you talking with us. And we got to wrap it on up. Is there anything that you would like to say before we wrap it on up and close it out?
I would just tell people to check us out. Scales, the web series on YouTube. We've reached over 100,000 views on YouTube.
Good.
Yes, for sure.
Wow.
Subscribe to the channel. You can,
Yeah, one day.
oh yeah, you guys are gonna get there with no. So you already have over 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube, so it's gonna happen. So just check us out, and just thanks for the support. Everybody stay safe, practice social distancing, wear a mask, and that's kind of it.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Follow us, subscribe. Good night.
Good night.